here right now. Get your, everybody got your patio. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Fill the aisle, fill the aisle, fill the aisle. Fill the aisle. Fill. Come on, come on, come on, come on. From all throughout the room. Oh, cause you've been better. You've been better to me. Better to me. And I can never, never, never repay.
Temple of Christ Ministries presents Sabbath-day services under the Big White Tent. That's 3791 Munford Road, Macon, Georgia, every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Temple of Christ Ministries, the Sabbath-day service under the Big White Tent. Meet him there every Saturday morning at 11 a.m.
Homeland Village Cultural Center, serving the greater Macon community for over 30 years and is a pillar of our culture to our community, specializing in health and beauty items, which include natural shea butters, oils, medicinal healing tonic, natural incense. Literature includes cultural history book. Nutrition includes vegan meal planning, African attire, and much more. Yes, that's Homeland Village Cultural Center, located at 2910 Napier Avenue, Macon, Georgia. Call today, 478-256-1166.
If you've been wondering where your old-time gospel favorites are, well, they are right here. Every weekday at 9 a.m., where Vertice inspires us, left us, and takes us back with Walking Down the Lane. Come hear the oldies with Vertice on 980 a.m. WDDO. The glory.
Even while living 6 feet apart,
bad things can still happen.
if you get in an accident and been hurt,
Call us. We might be able to help you.
the Dozier Law Firm. We've been here and will be here for the duration.
Middle Georgia. Welcome to our Saturday morning power, praise, and prayer lineup. The Greater Elizabethboro Missionary Baptist Church of Macon, where Reverend Derek Dumas is the lead servant, every Saturday at 11 a.m. on 980 a.m. WDDO. The Glory.
I'll go if I have to go by myself. I'll go if I have to go by myself. If my mother don't go, my father don't go, my sister don't go, or my brother, I'll go if I have to go by myself.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host. Brenda Sutton.
Hello.
Hello.
Silent
Oh,
night,
Jesus.
holy night, all is calm.
Why he's so deep?
All
Is he doing the
is
most?
bright round yon virgin mother and child. You know, that was the Temptation dude.
Oh, that was like Otis. Isn't it Otis Williams? What's up, Emily?
Yeah, I was trying
What's up? up?
Girl, thank you for the deodorant.
You welcome. I don't
we
want nobody out
all
there
thank
musty.
we all thank you for giving Brenda deodorant. Thank you very much. The population
Yes.
cheered.
You know, I
Hey
gotta look
everybody,
out.
wait a minute, let me do mine. Hello everybody, welcome to the All of a Sudden show.
Hello, Amanda Jean Hollis. Hey, Breon. Thank you, baby. And y'all hit that share button.
Yeah, we got some questions for you guys. We need y'all to call us. What's the number to call in, Brenda? I forgot to get it.
It is 478
Mhm.
250 1444.
Tell them again.
478 250 1444. Hey, Cheryl.
And we need
That's
you
my
all
cousin.
to call in because we need some participation here because I think that we need to hear from you. We need to know
We need to know.
what's going on in the community
And
and
then
find out if there's some way we can help serve that purpose. And we just need to hear from you guys We appreciate every listener that we have.
do.
We every one of you.
All of y'all down in Sandersville,
Yeah, man, everywhere.
Warner Robins.
Mhm.
Where else are they?
Crawford County.
Crawford
They're in
County.
Gordon. They're
Yeah.
everywhere. Forsyth.
All over.
Yeah.
All down the road. South Georgia.
Yeah.
Fort Valley. Did I say Fort Valley?
The Fort Valley.
Fort Valley.
She's just trying to say it so everybody can understand.
Well, that's it. Hey, Emily, what's up? How's the business going?
It's going good.
It's the Christmas season, you know.
It is.
And so we're here on the All of a Sutton show right now, and we need you to tune in because Emily has some very important information she's about to share about the Naturalista.
Right, because this is the last. This is how many more shopping days do they have, Emily?
This is actually 5. Well, technically, still 6 more shopping days left before officially before the holiday. But this is the last week that most people, such as myself, are doing sales. Yeah, so it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be to the wire. Everybody's getting last minute gifts for people and all of that good stuff. So we're excited. We're tired. We're busy. All of that good stuff. But I get to go on vacation.
Yeah.
The first week in January, we're closed every year for the first week in January and the first week of July. And so those are the 2 weeks that I look forward to. I actually don't go on vacation. I just rest.
Wow. And you know what, Johnny, we have to ask you, how's our friend Bruce?
Bruce is not really declining, but not really improving.
Okay.
But
so he's
the first thing that the nurse say every time, Mr. Johnny, I said, yeah, your brother will not keep his clothes on.
Again?
He's still flashing the nurses?
I said, Bruce, you got to keep your clothes on. Man, it's uncomfortable. So Bruce is giving them a steady diet of nakedness.
You know.
Well, I mean, hey.
Bruce said, I was born like this.
But that's all right, Bruce. And for those that are listening, Henry is doing better.
That's good. That's what I'm talking about.
But he had a setback on Sunday.
We don't want to hear nothing about the Falcons now.
Girl, the Falcons lost to the worst team.
Coming.
The Falcons lost to the worst team in the league.
Wait a minute. Let me just go ahead and give you some more fuel for your fire. In Carolina, they were selling professional football tickets to a professional football game to the people of Carolina for 45 cents.
Wow.
True. And the stadium still was not filled up.
And then if they had just bought those 45-cent tickets,
45
cents. They would have seen the Panthers beat the Falcons.
They would have.
Because and by the way, I was like, what are they doing? Henry was up there saying all kinds of shit. Thank you, Cheryl. Henry was sitting up there. He was like banging on the table and stuff.
See, he can't be doing all of that.
Beating the floor with his cane. I mean, he was just tearing up
with the cane.
Yeah, he was up there like striking.
But I know when he was really mad when that boy threw the interception.
Oh yeah,
because
he was mad.
He should not have. I put that on the coach, not the quarterback, because the coach should have instructed everybody on that team. I don't care what happens. We will not be throwing any passes at this particular time.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with that. And while we're talking about athletics and sports, listen, Central High Booster Club will meet January 29th, 2024. We'll meet the last month of each month after that in 2024 at 6 p.m. at Central High School. And if you want to join the Booster Club of Central High School, it's $35 for the entire year. We need to start reinvesting in our community, in our school, in our alma mater, and in these kids. And the idea is that the money is going to go for the athletics teams, the basketball, football team, soccer team, tennis team, golf team, and also included in that are the cheerleaders, and the band, because you don't have athletic events without the cheerleaders. You don't have athletic events without the band. So they're all included in this package. And we want at Central High School with Charge of Pride, We want to make sure that this community becomes more and back involved, because in the day when I was in high school, they were certainly involved. And I've watched over the years, and the community has not been involved with these schools as they should be. You know, these kids shouldn't be going around trying to play ball, and sometimes, you know, things chips fall where they might need an extra pair of shoes or extra pair of socks or something that goes along with their uniform, or something that will enhance the success of the program and of the team. Those coaches and the assistant coaches and all those people, they give of themselves, and I know that for a fact. So we as a community, especially the alumni of Central High School, we need to get involved. Let's get involved for the right reason, and let's help our kids and the school and the coaches there. Let's bring a winning attitude back to Central High School and those Chargers up there. Big Orange.
Well, you know, I'm a Central Charger, okay?
That's right.
I don't know if you knew that, Emily.
I did.
I'm a Central Charger, 1975 graduate of Central High School.
75.
That was when it was almost predominantly Caucasian. Is that correct?
She never.
Actually, the school.
72 was the first year, right?
72, but we were the first completely what they would call, started from 8th grade all the way up of an integrated class.
Right.
Because we were the first ones to graduate that started out
in the 8th grade.
Started out at integration all the way through.
So the class of 75 was.
Right. And the thing about it is, what Johnny is saying is absolutely correct. It was, now when I was there, it was sex segregated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was really, it was real. It was a good place to go and to raise your children and everything, and I'm listening, Sandra, we'll talk about that later on in there.
Yeah. Don't leave. We want you to call in and talk about it a little bit. 478-250-1444.
I just think it's really a good thing to for us to have the conversation about Central High School, Northeast High School, Southwest.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Southeast, it was Southwest.
Yeah, it was the big three public schools here in Macon.
And
it was said, what were they again?
Central, Southwest,
and Northeast. Yeah.
And they took all the schools, the black schools, what we would call the black schools, and the white schools, and they combined them all together and they made separate. So it was not like it was all really based on where you lived. It wasn't anything. I think Betty Phillips, I think she was the one that was on the board, her and Albert Abrams, but I know Betty Phillips was one of the people who really helped with integration here.
Did she?
She took a lot of heat too. Lisa,
the little short teacher.
Mm-hmm. Lisa, her daughter was in my class. Lisa,
we remember
Lisa
her.
Lewis. And Lisa told me that they had crosses burning in their yard.
In Miss Phillips' yard?
In Miss Phillips' yard. She called, she says,
wow.
Brenda, you don't know what my mother went through for integration. She said, you think it was just the black people. And we were just talking, but she said, no. It was white people who were participating in integration that also got the heat too.
Oh, absolutely.
And they got a lot of it. But yeah, she said they had crosses in their yard.
That's sad. But those kinds of stories need to be revealed.
Yeah, they do, because I didn't know it until Lisa told me.
Yeah, these kind of stories, these are the kind of stories that I think will truly bring healing to the community, because right now we just cover up stuff with shiny stuff. Okay, they're catching on to this. Let's build a new thing over here. Let's put something big over here, and then we'll distract them again. It's always something.
But you know what though? Emily brought up a good point. This is our last show before Christmas. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We just really need to just have a Christmas show and talk about Santa Claus.
Oh God.
It's a family feud.
With her having, being 90% Caucasian, I'm sure she believes in Santa Claus still.
Brenda, I used to always, my mom and them used to be talking about Santa Claus coming, and after my other brothers came into the picture, I used to tell my mom, look, we ain't got no chimney. Every show I see, right, Santa Claus coming down the chimney.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she used to tell me, "You get out of here." God put me out of the room when they were telling my little brothers about Santa Claus.
You know
They
what?
put me out of the
Let
room.
me tell you what they did for me though, Emily, with Santa Claus. First of all, we didn't have no stockings. We had a shoebox. I don't know about you, because you know they had we would take and put a shoebox by the tree. But when I asked Mama about Santa Claus, we did have the chimney, but the chimney was stopped up. You know, the chimney didn't work. And I was like, how did Santa Claus get in here? And she said, you don't need to be worried about it. She said, you don't need to be worried about it. What you need to be worried about is Santa Claus.
That's grown folk business.
And she said, I tell you what, if you don't believe in Santa Claus, you sure won't get nothing. But that took care of that.
You stop asking questions then.
Yeah.
I always thought that was, my parents never started us to believing in Santa Claus. Like, it was never even a Santa Claus gonna get you, a Santa Claus. It's still to this day, I never, raised Jimmy to believe in it. I think it's the most bizarre thing. I don't know why. I just think it's weird to teach your children a lie. Like, they be pushing a lie hard. Really hard. Yeah, so parents, keep that in mind. That's, if there's any children listening, parents, I'm not sure why children will be listening to this particular show, but just cover their ears. But
yeah,
we need to, pretty much tell our children that we work hard, and everything that's gifted to them is a blessing. I'll put it like that.
That's it.
You can just tell them you are Santa Claus. Yeah. You metamorphosize like the Transformers.
So, like the Transformers. Yeah. That's what you did, Emily. You turned into that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's what it was. Hey, look, we just want to give a big shout out to this is called Deflection. We want to give a big shout out to all the postal service because at this time of year they are working hard.
Man, they sweating.
Yeah, and I just saw one of my cousins who dedicated his life, Randy Dent, to the postal service here in Macon. Just give you a big shout out there, cuz. But yeah, we have got to give them some love too, because you're talking about somebody who's working overtime right now.
Yes, indeed.
Man, and people are going to be fussing.
Amazon too.
My cousin told me she had already sent my stuff in the mail. How come I ain't got my, well, they catching it when they roll up on these folks' houses right now. Most postmen now are wanting to get to people's houses when they're at work. They want everybody to be at work.
Well, they had let us know, business owners, because we send out stuff, ship out stuff from a website or whatever. But not only do they have the normal holiday traffic,
right?
They're severely understaffed. All of them, USPS,
Wow.
UPS, FedEx, DHL, they're severely understaffed. So imagine being understaffed, but you still have the same volume that you normally have during the holiday season.
Yeah.
So I'm telling everybody now I will say, UPS has been running on schedule. The other two, they have not been. And for obvious reasons, I do know that Amazon, I know they have a contract with the post office as well as FedEx. I've never received anything from Amazon on UPS, so I'm not sure if they partner with Amazon. I believe it's just FedEx and the USPS. But UPS is running on time today. I mean, as of right now, I know I sent something to Texas. I had a shipment to send off to Texas, and I sent it on Tuesday, and they actually received it by Friday. And normally it takes anything that goes to Texas or that part of the country about 5 business days. So they're moving really, really quickly.
I'm glad that Johnny brought out about the postal service, because I was like, I had really, there are certain things that during the holiday.
They're severely understaffed. The post office is.
Yeah. I had no idea because you just kind of like take it for granted.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, this is certainly some good stuff. This is another thing that I've been concerned about lately. And this is not a political observation. This is just what I've been watching the news. So they keep saying that the economy is so bad, right? They keep saying that we're headed for this Great Depression. They said it over and over, but they're also at the same time simultaneously predicting that we're going to set records for purchases for the Christmas holiday shopping gifts. So how is it that the people ain't got no money, but they are going to spend more money this time than they've ever spent in the history of man.
Because it's
Somebody
propaganda.
is lying.
But you know
It's
what? Though
propaganda.
it is also interest rates. It's the interest.
I understand that part, but
But there's
still,
that because people are buying.
Listen to what I'm saying. It is propaganda.
is somebody
if
lying?
you tell somebody, that's what propaganda
That's what I'm
generally
saying.
is. It's a lie.
Then forget all
And
the other
if
stuff.
they keep telling you something over and over and over and over again, what do you start doing? Most people gonna start believing it. So if I can keep telling y'all we're in a recession, we're in a recession, we're in a depression, we're in a depression, then people will start believing it. And what it subconsciously does is it pushes us into the very thing, because if you keep hearing those buzzwords, recession and depression, it makes you hold on to your money. Well, anybody knows the way the economy works is the money has to continue to flow through the economy. So if you're telling me we're headed for a depression, we're headed for a recession, most families are going to start saving money. The mom and the dad are going to hold on. They're going to hold on to the money, which actually kickstarts you or pushes you into the recession that you're predicting. So I try my best to explain that to people. Whenever they say we're in a recession or we're headed for a recession, I encourage people, if you have the money to spend, continue to do what you would normally do. Especially if you still have your job, if everything is still the same, continue to do what you do, because the more you hold on to the money, the more it, especially in my case, it really, really hurts small businesses.
Well, let me just say
because
this.
we are the first ones that people stop spending money with is the local business.
And I think that's what the big hoax is all about. It's trying to kill the little man, because there is no way in the world if these regular people did not have any money, they will be buying stuff, because most of the people who are at the lower end of the totem pole in this country, they do not have credit. So they're not going out with credit cards and making purchases and all that.
Exactly.
So it's too much conflicting information that we get that a lot of us just accept and don't really put any common sense with it. Because the lower end of our people, as far as finance goes, do not have a bunch of Visas and American Expresses and Prime credit cards. They do not have them. They operate on cash.
Well, you know what though, Johnny? Let me just say this to you and Emily. I don't think they've been listening to the propaganda, because folk been spending money. They shopping.
No, but I'm saying, Brenda, they kept predicting in August and in September that we were not going to have that the buying at Christmas was going to be at all-time low. That's what I'm saying. They kept pounding that the way Biden's just running the country, nobody's going to have any money to spend during this time. And they've been steadily saying that it's declining. But then all of a sudden, everybody's going to set a record this year.
Well, I agree with you. And,
There's some lying going on.
Let me just tell you, it's not as bad as people say it is.
Right.
That's the lying part.
But it never is.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not as bad. But I'm saying to you that people have been buying. I mean, like Christmas, I went to get some gifts for Denver. And I was just shocked.
I'm sure you all at Saks Fifth Avenue.
We were
at Belk's. They were at Belk's.
That's her favorite.
She's a Belk's girl.
That's right.
Well,
she doesn't know Costco and things of that.
Oh, we gotta call her, Miss Linda.
Hey, Linda, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Hey, Miss Linda.
What you want to say today?
All right, that's what she wanted to say.
Miss Linda sounded like she had a regular phone.
She didn't hung up on her.
No, that didn't sound like a cell phone.
That was a landline.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It sounded like, that was a regular phone.
But she'll call back.
That was a rotary dial phone.
Don't be picking at
Circa
Linda,
1974.
No,
this is my friend. You don't be talking about my friend.
You call back, Linda.
But during the holiday season, though, it is. They tell you one thing about the money and just different stuff. How many people right now they're trying to figure out how to buy all them groceries, and they're gonna buy them groceries. They're gonna do all of that stuff for one day. Now, I do have an issue with that.
Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all ever see in these advertisements about the $6,400 the government's supposed to be giving back in people?
Yes.
Is that real? Do you know?
I
anybody?
don't think it's real because real.
They got Steve Harvey doing it and
Oprah Winfrey, and The Rock. If you look at their mouths while the dialogue is actually going, and look at the mouths, the wording that's going in the dialogue.
So you think it's AI?
It is AI.
Yeah, it's fake. Yeah,
it is AI. First of all, First of all, this, and by the way, great segue into really to helping people understand how serious scams are.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year.
This time of year, they've got the things on there with
I
not
didn't.
just with
It's
Oprah
Linda
Winfrey.
Rose.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, Linda.
I didn't get cut. I didn't hang up. I got cut off.
Who cut you off?
I don't know.
It might have been.
I heard Hollingshead tell him he knew my grandmama next door, Miss Georgia William Penniman. But I disagree when somebody say they personal feeling about the Santa Claus. My ex-husband was like that, and he would be bamming at 4 or 5 o'clock, waking the children up because his mama did him like that. She didn't believe in Christmas. So I think everybody need to do their own belief, and we shouldn't add it on the news, on the radio.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. I never called in, and I listen at y'all all the time. I don't know what.
Linda, tell me one more time now. You saying you did not?
Next to the church on First Avenue.
I'm asking. What I'm asking is that you tell your children that was Santa Claus.
Yeah, I did, but my ex-husband didn't. He was raised like she said she was raised, and it made like a screws with the other person. I was raised like that. It was a Santa Claus, and they got it out there now. If somebody don't believe in it, don't put your personal feeling on someone else.
Oh, you saying what you're saying is don't take that bit of excitement in that world away from children. That's what you're saying.
Right. She said she didn't believe in it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Now I don't have an issue with if that's what you're teaching your children. I said, and I'll reiterate, I just think
my
it's
son is 59 years old, but his children might be listening at you on the radio.
Right. That's why I said I don't know why children would be listening to this particular show, but it is my opinion, and the show does
let her talk, Emily. Go ahead, Miss Linda.
I feel she shouldn't have did it on the radio, on the air.
Okay, well, she certainly didn't mean any harm. We got you. We understand.
And everybody else might hear.
Okay. Well, listen.
I have never called in, and I listen to y'all every Monday.
Miss Linda, you listen to us every Monday?
Every Monday.
You better keep on listening to us, Miss Linda.
That's right, and keep calling in.
But Miss Linda, keep
I have never called in on nobody on the radio station.
Miss Linda,
you calling in on me, Miss Linda?
Miss Linda said she had to do some straightening.
I turned that radio off in my house. I turned it off, and I'm on the thing. I got on there with Miss the lady said what it is, the stuff on Wednesday. I got on with her. I signed on, but I don't know how to use it. I got limited on the computer.
What, you on Facebook now? You on Facebook now?
Have a good day.
Look, Linda, you better call us every Monday now. You need to call us every Monday.
I was in the car this and that. I got out because y'all was talking some interest and come in the house.
Miss Linda, we telling you, we need you to call us and check on us every Monday.
Right.
It bless us out because Miss Linda, I'm the one who be doing dirty stuff, ain't who
I
the
know her. She a member of Turner Tabernacle, and I'm a member of Turner Tabernacle. I know her mom and daddy, and her uncle used to be a member of our church. So I've been knowing her. She don't know me. Y'all have a blessed day. I made y'all say, I just say,
Linda.
Miss Linda done calling breeding folk.
Yeah, Miss Linda.
Me and Miss Linda done went and brought my daddy up in it.
Yeah. Miss Linda let you know. She can go up over your head.
Miss Linda done went to I'm gonna take it and bring in Zimmy Lee. Oh, that is hilarious.
That's funny.
That was great.
Yeah,
thank you, Miss Linda, for calling. I thought it was the other Linda. I didn't know it was Miss Linda. Now we got another Linda.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't Lillian?
No, that wasn't Lillian, but Lillian would have got you too, though. Because Lillian,
she didn't say her last name. Okay.
No, she said she knew Johnny.
Yeah, she said her grandmother used to live near where we live.
So at any rate,
notice I changed back to my, the voice.
You were talking about you were talking about Christmas, and the money and stuff like that. And that's I was listening to TikTok, and this lady, they did the Secret Santa. This is just kind of off subject, but I thought it was kind of funny. And so they did the Secret Santa. So they had a $25 gift. You know, that's how much you could spend on the gift for $25. So they exchanged all the gifts and everything. And so
did they say the gifts were from Santa?
They said there's Secret Santa. You know the thing about the secret, secret gift exchange, stuff like that. And so you had a $25 limit, which is a nice gift, you know. So they said, well, the lady that called in, boy, Wade, you supposed to get us kicked off the air right now.
See, Wade, feel me, but you know, I ain't gonna say nothing else.
We're gonna put
we don't need Miss Linda to
We don't need
back.
to make any more comments on it.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna let that go.
Anyway, they called the lady said that she bought a really nice gift for $25 and things like that. And guess what? She got a box of candy.
Does she go see Brenda? You knew it was coming.
That's right. Right. She was just like, wow, I spent $25. I spent all this money on this gift. And then all I got was like some Reese's Pieces and stuff like that and some Hershey's Kisses. I mean, it was bad.
Wait.
Well, what if that was all the person could actually afford?
Well, that's the conversation, right?
That's there. Right. That's from the heart.
You know, if that's all the person had, then why do we, when we claim that it's all about giving, and I'm just saying, y'all hear me out here, it's all about it's the thought that's a thought lie.
Wait a minute,
that's a thought lie.
See, y'all just open up another can of
that ain't what it is. That ain't, we're talking about Christmas. It ain't the thought. Y'all already know that folk get mad if they don't get the right gift they want. And it ain't all about the thought either.
I got a question.
Sure.
So birthdays, right? The only birthday I know of in my existence, like everybody on my birthday, people give me gifts.
Right.
On your birthday, people give you gifts. On your birthday,
right.
And everybody's birthday. Why is Jesus' birthday the only birthday that most of the majority of people don't give him nothing? They give it to everybody else but him. And what they want is love and service and obedience and peace and kindness. But I'm saying, for everybody's birthday, like the way you could give gifts to Jesus is to be loving, is to be kind, and to go help the poor and to go help the downtrodden. But most people are celebrating with their like kind. If they're doing well in life, that's who they're hanging around most of the time. It's very rare they can talk what they want to. It's a few people that do get in there lofty places and ride down to the hood and do stuff for people. But Jesus' birthday is really one of the only ones that the primary function ain't to give to him, it's to give to ourselves and to our children and to our folks. It's just weird. And then I also trying to lead this thing back into the Christ was born time.
Well,
and to talk about Mary. And I was wanting to get to that because I've been lately in my mind, it just keeps reiterating in my brain and in my spirit that we do a whole lot of talking.
Come on now.
About Mary when we start talking about Jesus and the coming of Jesus and the birth of Jesus.
Okay.
But we rarely ever talk about Joseph. And what kind of person was Joseph? Because Joseph had to be chosen by God too. Because just a regular dude,
no,
he wouldn't have been able to deal with having his virgin woman be pregnant. And a lot of people forget he had buddies and people in the neighborhood. Joseph was a carpenter.
Yeah.
So then his other carpenter buddies and his other guys who did the other parts of the work on the buildings or whatever they were building. So then, don't you know some of them guys was just like some of your buddies? Yeah, right. She a virgin, all right.
You know what?
They were giving him a fit. And nobody really talks about the kind of person that Joseph was.
You know, I went to church, and big shout out to Shanita. I went over to Build Mount Zion, and it was a good service. I went to the 9 o'clock, and I was sitting in the pool, out there in the audience, listening to them tell the Jesus story, and what kind of gifts you could give Jesus and so. And it was a cool thing, don't get me wrong. But the thing that popped in my mind, and it came back, I was like, I'm messed up because that man, Joseph, had to really have gone through as much as Mary did. Because imagine, and that's what I was just saying, imagine you with your pregnant wife, taking her out, trying to find a place for her to have a baby. Now, I had a baby. Emily, you've had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't with no sitting on no donkey with one and then labor.
So what you saying is,
because I'd have been cutting up by that time.
So you saying
like I don't.
So Brenda, you saying Joseph's first choice was not the manger?
No, he went around looking for places for his wife to have the baby, and it was no room.
Mm-hmm.
It was no. He was
no
looking.
room in the end.
It was no room in the end.
Or was it also that some of those non-believers who ran those places,
they probably didn't care.
They did not believe that the Holy Spirit had impregnated her, and they thought of her not as such a good, clean person, and they rebuked her. And they said, "No, you can't have the baby here."
Well, they probably did, but she had.
We don't explore that avenue, I don't think.
And Emily, us being women, and first of all, I was in labor. I was trying to lay down. I was hurting. I wasn't even trying. I think I would have took and threw something to hit my husband upside the head, got me on a donkey, and I'm trying to have a baby. But you know what?
That's keep in mind we're talking about 2,000 years ago, where science has shown us that women did not lay down to have babies back then. You squatted.
Right.
So it wouldn't, I mean, her finding somewhere to lay down per se probably wasn't the first thing on their mind, because women literally did squat.
Those were women who had melanin in their skin that you speak of.
And so did Mary. And so did Mary.
So Brent, that's correct. Brenda would be looking for a bed to lie down. Makes sense.
Hey, Wade, he said that was a prophecy that they would tell you that he was born in a trough.
Now, that was a prophecy that he will be born in a trough.
And that could be true. And all of that. And he was,
But Brenda was born at a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
I was born to make a house pillow. But I'm just saying to you that it didn't dawn on me till Johnny talked about it, and he kind of brought it to my attention.
About Joseph.
I'm like, that guy, he was really,
Now let me give a little bit of this on Joseph, then I'm gonna hush. It says, why do you think God chose Joseph to raise his son? Do you think because he was rich and smart and powerful? No. I say he chose Joseph because he was like men were designed to be: kind, merciful, humble, respectful of God and his commands. This is the summit of what a man can be. But today we have many descriptions on TV and books and magazines and movies and from the pulpit and what a man is supposed to be. Like a man is supposed to be strong and rich and powerful and educated and sexy and etc. So today we take a look at the condition of the world, and especially the family guided by men who are sexy and brave and powerful, because these are the men that we basically put in all these leadership positions now, the strong and the brave and the sexy and the proud. And this is what has happened under the leadership of these men. Wars basically perpetuated by these such men. Oppression of the weak, especially the poor, children and women, by these such men. The church profaned and divided by those descriptives of men. But what the world needs are more men like Joseph. God's wants what the men that God want are not powerful men, are not proud men, are not good-looking men. What we need to be is real men like Joseph. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean a man. They say they're not down on men. This is not a sermon about bashing males. But what they're saying, they want, on the contrary, they want to remind you that the Bible says that it's a glorious thing to be a man. It's not popular today to be male because males are portrayed as naturally being foolish, brutish, inferior to being a woman. And being a man is not better than being a woman, but God loves men and has blessed men in special ways. I'm about done. So here's some of the ways that God has blessed man. First, human was a man. God entrusted to a man the building of the ark through which mankind was saved, Noah. He gave the promise of a savior to a man, Abraham. He chose a man to lead his people out of slavery, Moses. He chose men to be his kings and prophets, like David and Isaiah. He chose men to write his holy words. He chose men to be his leaders in his home, in their homes, and in his church. And but from what I'm getting from this is that man himself, the males, have gotten so caught up in being sexy and powerful and strong and brutish that we've gotten away that what we really are supposed to be is kind and humble and arrogant and submissive to God's will.
Well, you know what?
And he's saying that's what Joseph was, and that's why he chose him.
You know, it sounds like to me, isn't that word narcissism right there, Emily?
Where?
I'm gonna be quiet because every time I say something, I get.
I mean, what part of?
No, you ain't neither. You ain't gonna say that.
I'm trying to ask what part of this was narcissistic.
You don't. Was that written by a male or female?
It was just something I found to read.
You know,
because and I'll say this in hush because since y'all want to take it that way.
No,
because I didn't see any narcissism in it. And what I also know is it's like women will say
about today's man. I'm talking about today's man.
Talking about the brute and the powerful guy.
Yeah,
that is.
No, that's what I was saying.
Okay,
is
that is.
You know what I got from that is that we need to be careful because a lot of the men are not like Joseph. Mm-hmm. They're not kind.
Absolutely.
They're not that, and that's why I turned to you, Emily, and I said I'm talking about that narcissism. That's looked up as being a man.
That's the whole point.
You follow what I'm saying? It's just like if you a man, then you this way or you that way.
And Joseph was nothing like them.
Nothing like that.
He was nothing like them, and that's why God chose him because he was kind, humble, obedient, and generous, and all those things. And that is what we in this day and time should be striving to be, instead of being the boss and the powerful dude and the strong.
Where do you think that came from? Where do you think the disconnect happened? We're talking 2,000 years ago to current. Where do you think the tide turned and men started taking this position or this role of authority with, I don't know.
Now, I asked a lady at my church this Sunday after service, and I posed that question about, do you all go to church and listen to our sermons? They said, yeah. I said, well, do you often hear ministers and preachers talk about Joseph? And a lot of them said, you know what? No. And then this one lady said, yeah, I taught my Sunday school class about it, and you should have heard them. They got all excited and this, that, and the other. But this other lady said, because Joseph was not as important as Mary is. And I said, what? I said, I think they were equally as important for this task that God had to come for mankind. And she said, no, she believes in levels. She said that she believes that it's God, then Jesus, then Mary. She said she believes, so maybe this is the answer to your question, because she had the baby Jesus. That put her above the regular men. And I reminded her, she said, because she couldn't be, because the baby couldn't have been had without a woman. But then I reminded her that God don't work that way. Because if God truly, Adam was the first man on earth, didn't no woman exist, and God still had another human being. So God don't need a woman in order to have another human being.
But Emily, it's interesting that you would say that. You know what? I may get in trouble on this one. But you were saying, when did it shift?
I think when people started thinking that way.
Well, I think it shifted when ego got in the way.
Isn't that a description of ego when the lady said that Mary is more important than Joseph because she had Jesus?
That's now. This is recent. I'm saying, like, what happened?
I think
was it the Bible? Was it the actual transcribing of the Bible that put men in a position of authority to make them feel like they were supposed to be superior to females? I'm trying to you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out like where the disconnect happened.
I don't know, because if you look back historically and you see, to me, when you start like doing the excavation and you go all the way back to, when, historically, because and take a look at it, I personally just kind of get a feel for that it had everything to do with people, men, the mentality of people thinking that they were, that some of the men really got out, they didn't know who they were. They got out of sync with who God is, and really put themselves in a position that they shouldn't be in.
Yeah, and evil came in and took advantage of their weaknesses. And because if we start talking in terms of just our current history, like slavery, how they, took all this call it manhood from men, or you could go to that point and how they ostracized and hung men.
But who is they?
But let me
The
say this.
perpetrators of that. Or you could go to the World War when women had to do all the jobs in the factories and stuff.
Well, this is interesting. I've heard this argument back and forth a few times, and the whole Adam was put here first, and so the male is more dominant, whatever.
I didn't say that.
And no, I've heard this argument.
Okay.
So just follow me. And so I said, okay, well, when you look back over history, I said, this particular guy was talking. So I said, every bad thing that has happened in the world, from famine to war to destruction, all of that is brought upon by men.
See, but then they'll tell you, but then a man will tell you that, but the Garden of Eden was cool till Eve started getting the man to do this. And then they'll tell you that this guy was cool till Cleopatra came in and started doing his thing. And they'll tell you this was cool until the woman came in and got David to send the brother out there to get killed on the front line.
So does that mean that men are weak?
Or does it mean that they fall for evil? And I'm saying the point is I think that we are all equal. That's my thing. I think that God has us here for equal purpose to serve him. And that's what I think.
But I get what you're saying. It's like, when did the fall come? And I personally think the fall came with, or has come with, just people getting out of sync. And it's just, it could be male or female, but basically it falls back to man, M-A-N-S, and human beings just getting out of sync with who God is.
Stopping being obedient to God.
And just stop being, and don't really know who God is, and put themselves in the place where they shouldn't be. And that's what's going on now. And I'm glad that we're having the conversation about that. And coming up toward Christmas time, if we really understood the relationship that we should be having with God, then we wouldn't be getting caught up in all this materialism, which goes back to, you didn't get me the kind of present that I wanted. You didn't do this. I want, ignoring as far as I'm saying, the contributions of of Joseph, and putting it all on Eve. Eve didn't do it by herself. Joseph had a lot to do with that too. And I do like that commentary. They were talking about what you read about the guy, because Emily, it goes back to, narcissism. And you kind of brought that to the forefront, is a terrible thing. It's terrible.
It is, but it's such a clickbait now, and the word has, which I think has also been done intentionally. The word has been thrown around so much, so to where when you say it, it's so cliche now. But if you actually do the research and understand narcissism, it is real, and narcissism causes more abuse than physical abuse.
Yeah.
And that needs to be addressed, and I think it's an ongoing conversation, a conversation that will never end, because it's a dialogue that continues and is ever evolving. But when it comes to gifting, my family can tell you that, well, what you want for Christmas? I don't care. I mean, I really don't. It's whatever you want to give me. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I just think that's just weird to ask. Like, get me what you want me to have. I'm gonna be appreciative of whatever you give.
And by the way, the best gift you can give me is love and time.
And I promise you, I mean that literally.
Yeah,
because I really don't want
nothing.
people giving me. And most of the Christmases that I spend in my adult life, I'm really by myself watching TV, watching football and stuff, and just as peaceful as I can be.
And by the way,
I promise you, and it's nothing against anybody or stuff. And people come on over here. And my kinfolks say, come by here, come out of the house and all that. I just
I may go get a plate, but I'm coming back.
But I'm gonna come on, I'm making crab. I'm making seafood chowder. For Christmas.
They say don't be eating a whole lot of seafood during Christmas now.
But you know what though? I'm like, Henry and I do not exchange gifts on Christmas. We do not. And people say, yes, I'm like, we've never, ever exchanged gifts because we just don't do it. It's not our holiday. It's not our birthday. And so we don't do it. I don't expect anything. I don't get bent all up out of shape. I don't care if the children don't give me. It's just not even that important to me. What's important to me is time and love. And, you know, my gifts are, I mean, you guys are a gift. I mean, it's all year, that kind of giving.
Yeah.
I'm just like.
But I think when you are fulfilled, in your heart, your mind, your spirit,
right,
you know, emotionally, when you are fulfilled, there is no physical thing
that
someone can give you that just makes you be like, okay, this is it. So even my mom kept like, what do you want? What do you want? I was like, I don't know. You keep asking me. You've been asking me that for weeks. And I was like, hell, some pots and pan. You know, I jailed out some pots and pan. Just, you know, like I really don't care. And I've never been one that somebody gave me something. I was like,
me either.
And you know, I don't expect things for Christmas. That way, when I get something, I'm excited about getting it. I don't require anybody to buy me anything for Christmas. And it's funny because me and my brother were going back and forth about this just not even a week ago, and he was saying, you know, that that the gift shows the person that you're thinking about them and that you care about them. And I said, but we should do that all year long. We shouldn't just put it on one day and say that if I don't give you a gift on this day, that doesn't mean I don't love you. That doesn't mean I'm not thinking about you. And it's bizarre that we have the mindset that if I don't gift you something on this specific day or this particular day, that means I don't love you or care about you. Right. I personally just think that's bizarre.
I think it's bizarre. And not only that, if the gift doesn't reflect a certain monetary value, right. Yeah. And that's where I'm going with it. If it doesn't have that value on it, like, I don't know, you know, people go through, well, what is the appropriate amount that you should spend for a gift? Say for your girlfriend or for your husband or whatever. You're like, I don't even know.
And I never think about that. When I gift someone, I think about the person. And I think, like, if I was to buy Johnny a gift, Johnny likes cowboy hats. Johnny likes cowboy boots. I would get him something in that arena because that's what I know that you like. Yeah. I wouldn't try to go out and buy a $1,400 iPhone because Johnny got a flip phone. Johnny, I wouldn't, you know, I would buy him something that I know.
That was a setup.
But and by the way,
you know, I had to get you.
But Johnny don't want that.
And you know, but
Johnny
I'm
wants
saying,
a trip to France.
Well,
y'all can start saving now for 2024.
Okay. All right, sure. But you know what though? But you're correct.
I just think you should give if you're going to give a gift, the gift should be thoughtful. And if it's thoughtful, it won't have $1,000 price tag attached to it.
The best I've ever felt around Christmas is the years that I've been a part of feeding the hungry and taking gifts to people who didn't have anything.
There you go.
And that's what I think that's what I think. That what Christmas is supposed to be all about.
And see,
because that's to me is the way that you give back to Jesus. Because on your birthday, Brenda, I should give you a gift. On your birthday, Emily, I should give you a gift. On Christ's birthday, I should give Christ a gift. Not Brenda, not Emily, not Joe, not my cousin over there. We should be finding a way to serve Christ. And to give back to who he would be coming to see about. Because if Christ came, he's not going to the mansions. He's going down to where the downtrodden people are. He's going to where the people are hurt. He's going to where the people are neglected. And that's how I think that we as humans can give back to Christ at Christmas time. Not giving them to our co-workers and all that. But I think we should be giving to people who need, because we know we drive home, we drive by the store. You can't go to a convenience store and nobody be talking about, let me get that chain. And everybody that's out there asking for change is not on drugs. Some of these people really are by the way, having a hard time in life.
And some of them are not.
Some of them are
and
not.
Some of them are not. But I just, Sheila said, a well-meaningful card makes my day. You know what makes my day? Is I would have like a
tea
Christmas
with the pinky up. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But see, I wasn't bothering you, Emily. I wasn't bothering you.
I'm sorry.
You know, now Emily was just sitting over there with her mouth. She was just sitting over there like, what you doing, Emily? Well, you know, they're just coming for me. They're just coming for me. See, I wasn't bothering her.
You did kind of walk into that one. I'm sorry, but go ahead with your thought.
But
I'm sorry.
I like
Mimosa.
Mimosa
and,
I
and
do.
croissants.
A mint julep.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I do like to have a Christmas breakfast, like a brunch with mimosas and stuff like that. I really do.
We know.
And and shrimp and grits. I'm just saying. They are so mean to me.
And andouille sausage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and a little bit of gravy over the top.
And using words like indubitably, things of that nature.
But that's what I enjoy doing is just, doing that kind of stuff, having breakfasts and things like that.
And sharing the King's language.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that y'all so bad. I don't get upset over a gift. I just don't get upset over that. Over something materialistic. And I think that's the conversation. Jesus was not materialistic.
He wasn't.
His mama wasn't materialistic, and his daddy wasn't materialistic. Right. He went to work. He was cool. I like what you said, about that man. Even the definition of a man. I'm not, and I'm not man bashing, but really, guys that are listening, you may want to follow the example of Joseph because he's a real man.
That's a real G.
Yeah, because
real G.
You think about it. This is the guy that God chose to be his father on the earth.
You better talk about that.
So if he thought this much, now then when you go and look at the character traits of the guy that he chose, they were of a person who was kind and humble
and a servant
and generous and a servant and obedient. So that's where the real strength lies.
That's what I'm talking about. When we were talking about narcissism.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying that narcissistic man
is the other powerful, sexy dude.
Is that guy that is got orange hair that just, just up in there. And people think he's just...
Wait a minute, hold on, stop. Did you say orange hair?
Yeah, it's orange.
I just wanted to make sure my ears were not malfunctioning.
And
okay, go ahead.
But he's up there, that's and all I'm saying is that he is not an example of strength, but you've got a lot of people that follow him as an example of this is what a strong, what a strong man is. And there's a lot of other men, I guess is what you want to call them, that are out there that portray this strength when what you really want is somebody like a Joseph.
Like Joseph.
Who's obedient to God. The big thing is he knew who God was.
Yeah.
And he listened. Now, the other part of it is he was able to listen to God.
That's right.
And then he obeyed God.
He was obedient.
Now, how many people can say they listen to God and obey him?
And obedience is the key to all of this stuff because you can know the Bible backwards and forward. But if you are not obedient, then you really just, what they call it, blowing in the wind.
And by the way, he didn't have the Bible back then because there wasn't no Bible.
But I'm just talking about these folks these day and time.
But he had to be able to listen to the inner man.
That's right.
Okay, so it wasn't a book there to guide him on anything. He had to really be in tune with himself to understand and listen to and adhere to and be obedient to.
Yeah, to be in tune with God.
God's voice.
Yeah.
And that's a real deep thing right there. Him and Mary, both of them.
See, meditation is important. People overlook that part. They say, just pray, honey, but they forget to tell people you got to pray and meditate because the meditate part means you pray and then you listen for God's response. Okay. And we overlook that a lot. All we do these days is pray and get up and start running. We don't stop and wait until he gives us instruction.
Tongues too.
But we just need to start. And that's something I work on for me is when I pray, I've been trying my best to get better about wait, dude. If you thought enough of it to pray about it, then you ought to think enough of it to wait and see what God's answer is and actualize to yourself that my desires, Johnny Robert Hollingshead Jr., do not always match up with God's will.
And that is a very powerful piece. And I just wanted to put it out. That's why I was saying about that meditation. Meditation is listening to God, and prayer is talking to God. And you can't talk and listen at the same time.
It's got to be both.
That's
communication. It's transmitting and receiving. It's not just transmitting.
And you have people that'll say, boy, when they praying and stuff, they talking and they meditating, that's some craziness, that's some of that other stuff that ain't of God. You better understand that is of God. And that's how the people like Mary and Joseph got the answers that they
They
needed,
listen.
because they listened.
Listening is a gift.
Listening
is the gift.
Okay.
If you reaching out to God,
come on now.
because if I go to the drive-through window and I give them my order,
Right now.
and then until they give me my order through the window, I ain't got no gift. So what do? I wait. After I wait.
And that is so powerful, because I was just like I said, I really didn't even think about Joseph. But then when I began to think about it, I was like, oh man, he was something else.
And I want y'all out there that's listening to ask yourself, how many times have you been in church or wherever, in a Bible discussion or whatever else? How many times has the conversation been about Joseph?
And by the way, and that's the truth. How many times would you rather listen to a lie, rather than listen to the truth? And
maybe that's in its own way how some of the imbalance got to be, Emily. That's some of the way, because we don't really talk about how it takes both of us. It takes, just because that guy is not the biological father of that child, because Joseph was not the biological father of Jesus.
That's true.
That's when it gets into how valuable adoption is and unconditional love. And some of us don't allow that unconditional love to come into our lives, into our children's lives, on the men or the women's side. That we need to start encompassing that.
Emily, I want to wish out there, people out there, a very Merry Christmas. Eat lots of food.
Don't overeat.
Oh, we can sing "We Wish You Merry Christmas."
Don't overeat.
Oh, Emily, you want to start it off?
Sing, Emily.
What are we singing?
We wish you Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring for you and your King. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You be riding in the car and the song come on, and you heard the song, but you don't really know the words. That's what Brenda here doing.
Merry Christmas, y'all. We love y'all.
Merry Christmas.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions